Three, two, one.
Come on! Come on!
Hi, and welcome to Cross Border Gaming, episode 174. I am Frank, aka E-Master in Toronto, Canada.
And I am Harold the H-Bomb Price in sunny Southwest Florida.
And we're here, and so are you. Let's get this started.
Let's do this. Frank, you got the short list.
Well, I haven't had much time to play games, so I have been sticking with the simple stuff, but I did wind up getting a new game, which I really wish I wouldn't have gotten, which is Need for Speed Most Wanted, which I don't think I like what they're doing with that series as far as the controls go. It feels like Forza a little bit in the control department. It's no longer as, arcadey to control the cars.
I don't know. I liked it. I own it on 3 different platforms.
Oh, Jesus.
Hey, it was on, well, it was $5 on PSN when I got it there.
Yeah, I wish I had only paid $5 for it, then I wouldn't be as sour. But I did pick up, speaking of picking up things for $5, I actually picked up Hell Yeah while it was on sale. I surprisingly like that game.
America, hell yeah. I don't know.
It's not bad. It's a cool platformer. From Sega that's, I think, now quite a while old. But it's pretty nice. I like the graphics, as well as the entire gameplay and the puzzle aspect. It's pretty nice. I highly recommend you try a demo. Of course, I played more GTA 5 because I'm trying to 100% that game. I actually got the Brady Guide, so I can collect all the items. EB was selling them for $10 here, so I figured why not pick it up. I mean, I already owned it in PDF format, but I wanted the real thing. Still not any closer to getting to 100% though, especially on my new playthrough. I am almost at the end of that one. Played more Tetris Splash because people came over, and usually that's what we play. And I also tried the free Gotham City Imposters, or whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah.
This is my not worth the free game of the year of 2014. It's the Shadowrun FPS with Batman logos and Joker logos all over the place. That's it.
I'm Batman. No, I'm Batman. No, I'm Batman. I'm Batman.
I don't know how they could charge $15 for a game that has 5 maps and 3 modes and is only online multiplayer. It's not even worth the free, and it's not worth the 1 point some odd gigs of bandwidth you're going to waste downloading this. I mean, unless you are literally a massive Batman fan like some people I know, I really can't recommend this game at all. And especially as an FPS game, I just think it's... I don't know how they got the idea to do an FPS game with the Batman license because, well, Batman doesn't use guns. I've only
He's back in the 30s.
Yeah, back in the 30s, and once just before he took the mask off and retired. That was the only other time I've seen him use a gun. But I don't know, I just don't understand how the two things blend together. It almost feels like Gotham City Imposters was another game, and they just said, oh, let's slap the DC license on this and let's see what happens. Because otherwise, this game would have probably had about as much success as the Shadowrun FPS. Again, can't recommend it. It's not my bag.
Not with the free.
I tried. I really tried, and it's garbage.
Okay.
Otherwise, that's about it.
Okay, so Frank, you said you played GTA 5. In related news, I played Rock Band Blitz. I have now broken the 300 gold star barrier.
That means.
What?
I'm not sure what that means.
That means, well, Rock Band and all that is 5-star barrier, and beyond the 5 stars, the gold star, and I've gotten 300 of them. I mean, you've played Rock Band.
I have played Rock Band a long time ago.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. A little bit more Tomodachi Life. Ticket to Ride. I actually played a little Ticket to Ride this morning.
It's alright.
Yeah. Record Run. Shovel Knight came out last week.
Now what's that about?
That is kind of the lost 8-bit game. I mean, it's an 8-bit style. They had to cheat a little bit on the sound to get it to try to get true 8-bit specs, but essentially plays some like a cross between Mario 3, Mega Man, and Zelda 2. I've enjoyed it so far. I actually backed it on the Kickstarter.
Nice.
Yeah, I have it on 3DS. It's also available on Wii U and Steam. Just another game that just came out yesterday on iOS, Civilization Revolution 2.
Now how does that compare to the previous one?
Almost exactly the same.
See, I was thinking of getting it, but I am not paying $15 for an iPhone.
Yeah, I almost bought, but then I realized how much time I sank into the original, and then a little disappointed to realize that it's got a fresh coat of paint and a couple new characters that you have to unlock. So yeah, that's probably $15 I wish I hadn't spent.
I would pay $15 for it, but not on the iPhone. I'd pay $15 for it if it was on
Well, I have an iPad. I've
60.
been playing it on the iPad.
Still, I wouldn't pay $15 for a mobile game. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
unless it's a DS game or something like that.
Yeah. Grinsia. That's a 3DS eShop JRPG. And if you listened to H-Bomb and Friends a couple weeks ago, you probably heard Phil talking about it. It's a nice, solid, light JRPG, except there's still some bugs in it.
So it feels unfinished?
No, I mean, not so much unfinished, just, I was playing and it crashed. And I hadn't gone back to see what had saved and what hadn't, how far I had saved before it crashed.
Ruh-roh.
If I have to fight a boss over again. But BitBoy Arcade. You may remember a few years ago I played a WiiWare game called BitBoy.
Not.
Where you're this pixel character and you're going through mazes, trying to save your pixel friends and collecting. I'm not even sure what you were collecting. And the whole twist of BitBoy is that you're going throughout gaming history. You're starting in like 4-bit Atari era, going into 8-bit, 16-bit, etc. Unfortunately, BitBoy Arcade doesn't do that, but it's still the same kind of gameplay. And the main character, Kubi, has gained power of being able to communicate with his developer. So Barrett, I believe is the guy's name. So yeah, a lot of back and forth between Kubi and Barrett. I got it for $5. It's all right, $5. And I was going through my Club Nintendo stuff, trying to get go through surveys and stuff. And then it had a post-play section for Grinzy and BitBoy Arcade, which I couldn't fill out because I really hadn't played them. But yeah, moving up. By the way, I'm like 5 points away from next year's platinum already.
My God.
And last Monday, I got a PS4. So I've been playing various games, some that I got via cross-buy, some via Plus, some that I just bought. But right now, it's all downloadable games. I don't have any retail titles yet. But played Octodad, Deadliest Catch. And, you know, this is a game that I'm probably going to have to play in small doses. I mean, I like the humor in it, but the controls, I guess, by nature, are a bit frustrating. And, I mean, that's kind of the point, because you're controlling an octopus trying to be human.
I was about to say that. I mean, isn't that the whole point?
So, yeah, that is the point. So, yeah. So, I'm not... So... It's frustrating controls, but it's probably accurate. But yeah, I mean, it's a fun game, but for me, I can probably only handle it in small doses. Entwined, which is the game Sony showed off during E3 and then announced it's on PSN now. And if you saw the Sony C3 presentation, you saw how awesome it looked. Not only does it look awesome, it sounds awesome, and it plays pretty good too. Essentially, each of the sticks on the DualShock 4 control one of the two characters, and you gotta keep the characters going through their respective characters, their respective colors, slots. You have a fish and a bird, and eventually, once you complete it and go through enough of the right colors, they actually merge to form a dragon. That's really cool.
Nice.
Mercenary Kings, former Plus game. Very kind of like a Contra Metal Slug kind of game.
How is it?
I like it.
Because it's on sale on Steam this week.
Yeah. Zen Pinball 2, which we've talked about Zen Pinball a lot on the show. One thing, as far as cross-buy goes, if you want to be able to play a table across all three PlayStation platforms, do not buy it on PS4. Buy it on PS3 or Vita.
Really? Otherwise, it's not gonna...
Otherwise, if you buy it on PS4, you're gonna have to buy it again if you want to play it on your other PlayStation platforms.
That's semi-shady. Shouldn't be like that.
Yeah, I think, yeah, that needs to be fixed. And I think Zen has actually come out and warned people about that. But why does it have to be that way? Why can't you just buy it on why doesn't it know?
Well, because Sony assumes that, oh, you sold your old system to get this new one, so fuck it.
And they also assume that you're not playing your Vita either because nobody is?
Yeah.
Resogun. Dual stick shooter. Let me back up to Zen Pinball 2. I picked up the Super League football table and the Deadpool table, which just came out last week. tables. By the way, not on our news, but Zen did announce a Walking Dead table coming later this summer, I believe, based on the first season of the Telltale game.
Okay, I was gonna say, so the Telltale game or the TV show?
But yeah, but you know, one thing I also noticed about Zen Pinball 2 is the leaderboards are different than on PS3 and Vita. With PS3 and Vita, I'm pretty sure that's. I'll have to double check, but I think that's the same leaderboards, but it's different leaderboards for PS4. But I all three members of the KegCast are all playing that. Have all played that game because their scores are on there. Yes, I'm friends with all three of them on PSN. Even what's his name, who hasn't been on our show.
I refuse to mention his name. He can get his plugs elsewhere.
Yeah, Resogun, Flower. What the hell took me so long to play Flower? It just looks awesome. It's like Zen the game. I need to play some more of that. I only played the first level, but that's a good, relaxing game.
Now, is that the one where you have to fill in these tanks with water, or is that a different game?
That was Flow, I believe.
Okay. Yeah, I'm thinking.
Which I believe that was ported to PS4 and Vita, and it's also a cross-buy. Maybe I probably should have gotten that while it was on sale. Flower was like $3.50 or something cross-buy, so I picked that up. Titan Attacks, that was another cross-buy title. It's Space Invaders, pretty much.
Yep.
There's nothing wrong with that. I like Space Invaders, but yeah, it's Space Invaders. And finally, as far as free games that don't suck, in contrast to your Gotham Imposters, Strider, which is a plus freebie on PS4. I saw Nabishin streaming it for Irrational Passions about a month or two ago. Fun game. Part Metroidvania with a sword. Just slash through your enemies. But yeah, I like it. And there's still a few more PS4 games I have, but I haven't even gotten a chance to touch yet. Like Stick It to the Man, Don't Starve. But yeah, I like my PS4 so far.
Do you have any retail titles in mind?
That
are currently not that are coming out.
Currently, maybe if there's a sale, I might get like Injustice or Need for Speed Rivals or something. Down the road, definitely Little Big Planet 3.
Of course. I think that's probably the whole reason you got one.
Yeah, Little Big Planet 3, Amplitude, which is a downloadable game, but yeah. And another downloadable game, which is the first item of News of the Universe. Really good there. I thought I just sprung that on you.
I still don't have the soundboard. I can't find it.
Oh. But yeah. Road Not Taken, which was my game of PAX East 2014. Coming to PS4 and PC August 5th. Vita version has been delayed, but it will be a cross-buy whenever the Vita version comes out. But I really enjoyed playing it at PAX East. It's from Spry Fox, the folks who made Triple Town. It's a roguelike puzzler, randomly generated, procedurally generated levels, and I can't wait.
When's that supposed to come out?
August 5th.
Of this year. Nice.
Yes. I just said that.
Sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
Figured as much. Crytek UK, formerly Free Radical, in trouble. Staff leaving. Multiple late pays.
Damn.
Yeah.
But they still have their... Or you think they're on their way out of closing?
Probably. I mean, there are reports that Crytek as a whole was having issues, but most of that just reflected back to Crytek UK. Moving on, Satoru Iwata. You may have noticed he wasn't at E3, and there's a good reason for that. He had surgery to remove a bile duct growth. He also missed Nintendo's annual shareholders meeting, but he did get a vote of confidence to remain the president.
When do they get to vote when Reggie Fils-Aimé gets to leave?
I don't know. That's NOA, so who knows? But yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't get rid of Reggie just yet. Nintendo's turning it around.
Really?
Just wait till Smash Brothers comes out.
Yeah, but one game is not going to save the company's home console market.
Hey, Mario. Smash Brothers is game number 2.
Library of games to make it successful.
Yeah, well, they're just getting started. I mean, yes, it took them long enough to get started, but Mario Kart's moving consoles. Smash Brothers will keep the momentum going.
And what else?
Splatoon, Zelda whenever that comes out. But yeah, anyway, we're missing the point here. Mr. Iwata, get well soon. Moving on to shit Andrew Wilson says.
Now, for those that don't know, who's Andrew Wilson?
He is CEO of EA and a royal douchebag.
Who apparently said EA is changing to become player first.
You know, as opposed to money first, like he previously discussed.
I remember having that conversation.
Yeah, he pretty much treating IPs like property, like asset. Yeah, treating studios like assets, and not even thinking about people.
Maybe his cohorts had to educate him on exactly how the video game business.
Yeah, maybe. Moving on, of course, when Assassin's Creed Unity was revealed, there was a mode where there's a multiplayer mode where you customize your assassin. However, there was no way to customize it to be a female assassin. So in response to Assassin's Creed Unity, Sunset Overdrive will have female assassins. Essentially, actually, you can customize your male or character to be male or female with a whole bunch of customization options. And also in a response, Starwall Just the Tip also announced that you can dress up your Starwall as a female assassin.
Mario Kart 8 Mercedes DLC coming to North America and Europe.
Sweet.
We had previously discussed why.
Yeah. You know. I mean, yes, maybe it's a little cheesy, but I also think it's cool. It's open.
It's the right approach to Mario Kart, actually.
Yeah, it's opening the floodgates.
Exactly. I think a few years ago, I think when Blur came out, we discussed this too.
Woohoo!
Why there is no licensed vehicles or decals or anything in Mario Kart.
Yeah.
I hope they do more stuff like this.
Yeah.
And maybe incorporate it into their actual games instead of it just being DLC.
Yeah. I mean...
Or heck, make
And-
a Mario Kart that's actually all licensed cars.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
I mean, yeah, it's something Nintendo's playing around with. There was also Callaway Golf Bag in Mario Golf. So, I mean, I'm not adverse to a little product placement.
It's not so much. I wouldn't see putting licensed cars into Mario Kart product placement as much as it is to add. I mean, like going from imaginary cars to real ones.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how it plays out.
I like the so far.
Okay, yeah, Minecraft approaching 54 million copies sold, and the console versions have passed the PC in sales.
And Notch added another roof to another floor to his house.
Yeah, a floor just to store his fedoras.
Yeah, just to store his fedoras, and he's gonna build another one just for his shirt. That guy can never has to work again, ever. He never has to make another game again.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
never
he's just building
done.
a fedora house, a house for his fedoras.
I mean, this is a guy who's made so much money, or his company has made so much money from one game alone. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'd walk out if I was him.
Um,
Lohan is suing Rockstar Games for using her likeness without permission in GTA 5.
I hope this gets thrown out.
It will get thrown out because, I mean, look, there's even, what is it, a woman from Mob Wives or one of those shows that is also trying to sue Rockstar for her likeness because there's a random event in the game where you come across these two guys that are trying to bury this woman alive. And she also has a resemblance to this lady off this, reality TV show. And she also is trying to sue Rockstar Games for the same thing.
Alright.
The character that Lindsay is suing for looks absolutely nothing like her to begin with. So
Yeah.
I have no idea what her problem is. I think
Yeah.
she's running out of money.
Yeah. Moving on. Shovel Knight has a mode where several words are changed to butt. To activate this, start a new game and enter WSWWAEAW as your name. And words like shovel and knight and a lot of other commonly used words will change to butt. Rated I for immature.
I think that would be considered. I think that would still be considered rated G at this point compared to some of the things that people do now that are considered immature.
Yeah. While we're on the subject of Shovel Knight, Think Geek is going to be selling a Shovel Knight shovel and a helmet. Kind of looks like on the similar lines to some of the Minecraft gear that's already available. Because, you know, it's all Shovel Knight, it's all 8-bit.
In other words, you're buying one?
I don't know.
That's a yes.
I don't know. I might get a shovel. Who knows? Maybe if they're selling it at PAX East next year.
Yeah, then definitely, because then you don't have to wait for it to come in the mail.
Yeah.
Selling a 12-month pass to 800 games for $59.99. $40 less than their actual console.
Yeah.
Too little, too late?
Yeah. Qbert Rebooted coming to Steam next week, and eventually coming to iOS and Android. This is both a redone version of the original as well as a new version where the squares are replaced by hexes.
Do you
You
think
ever get into Qbert, Frank?
I've played Qbert once and once only?
Yeah, I never really got into it either.
Me neither.
Okay.
That I am into some sort of recreational drugs. Maybe not like it, but back in the day I did not.
Yeah. Giant Bomb hires Dan Reichert and Jason A. Stryker from Game Informer, and then the internet goes apeshit when someone complains about Giant Bomb hiring 2 more white guys.
Really?
Yeah, Samantha Allen, a freelance games writer, said pretty much made a few tweets, pretty much again saying just giving them a hard time for not hiring anyone of color or female or gay or anything, just a couple straight white guys. And Giant Bomb fans are a passionate sort, but they kind of went a little too far. Yes, I don't agree with her, and talked a little bit about it on H-Bomb Friends last night, 2 nights ago, and a little bit more on Fantastic Neighborhood last night. But essentially, rape threats and death threats, and Jeff Gerstmann and Alex Navarro pretty much had to come out and say, yeah, we don't condone any of this. Guys, be cool. Don't be assholes. And maybe she's got a point where there needs to be more
diversity.
Yeah, but Giant Bomb's thing is based on chemistry, and if you wanted to add a female editor there, you kind of needed to have someone who would really mesh with the guys. Which I know there are several good female games writers out there, but I'm not sure how any of them would mesh full time.
To me, like the person that complained here is jealous that she didn't get the job instead.
Well, she said she didn't apply for it, but
yeah, but she probably was expecting someone to just offer it to her. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, diversity is nice, but you have to also look at the demographic of Giant Bomb too.
Yeah. I mean, tell you the truth, I mean, I think I have total respect for women in gaming and women in the gaming press. Truth is, I don't know a lot of female gamers. That's why we haven't had a lot of female guests on this show or on H-Bomb and Friends. I mean, I'd be open to having more female guests.
I would too, but I mean, I know female gamers. It's just they're not hardcore. They're more, how you say, casual, or just above casual.
Well, then again, that's also a stereotype.
I don't think it's a stereotype because I know a lot of people who just can pick up a game for an hour or two once in a while and be good with it.
Yeah. But yeah, moving on to a new segment, Esports Corner. Yes, not only do we have another esports story this week, we have 3.
Are we becoming part of Idiocracy?
Yeah.
I quit.
Episode 174, I quit.
We're doing esports, I quit.
You might change your...
Competitive gaming. Let's call it that.
Okay. You know, why don't I go ahead and skip to the second story then, because the Dota 2 tournament, the International, is boasting a $10 million prize pool. So yeah, there's money in this.
That's not going to stop me from shaking my head.
Okay. Yeah, but kind of going back to what we were saying with female gamers and gender equality, group called the International Esports Federation, or the IESF. Apparently, they were under fire because their tournaments were segregated by gender, and it really came under fire when they had a men's tournament for Hearthstone, but not a women's tournament. But they have, and their rationale for this is they're trying to be on parity with other sports, and said that even chess has separate tournaments for men and women. But they've reversed it. They are still going to have a separate female division, but they are also allowing women to enter the men's tournaments.
It's a video.
You know, where's...
What do they need to separate genders for?
Yeah,
Why is
true. I totally agree.
pretty bitches? These people ganged up on me. I don't get it. Video games. This isn't.
Yeah. If a woman can hold her own, she should be able to.
Exactly. I mean, this is not.
And that's true in any form of competition.
Yeah, it's not an athletic competition. This is different. I mean, it with esports, quote unquote, it doesn't matter if you're fat or slim or whatever gender you are, or even if you're transgendered. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Or it shouldn't matter, at least.
But as opposed, moving on, apparently Just Dance is now an esport, joining the Electronic Sports World Cup.
I can see that. You know why? Because you're actually doing something physical.
Although, personally, I think Dance Central is the better game. I mean, because of Just Dance is designed to work for Wii remotes and then Move controllers, it only really works the upper body. Dance Central is where it's at, because Kinect, you moved your whole body. I mean, even the Kinect version of Just Dance still focuses on the upper body because the lowest common denominator with the Move and Wii controls. But I just have one question: is Rock Band Blitz going to be declared an esport soon? Because I've been practicing.
I have a headache. Anyways.
Hey, I'm in the top 250 on Xbox. 249.
Well, let me know how that goes.
And while Frank is losing faith in this show, Electronic Arts is losing faith in 3DS and Vita. Shifting from the handhelds to mobile devices.
Interesting move. Do they see more distribution channels with what is it? Smartphones or tablets even?
Yeah.
Instead of the 3DS and Vita.
I don't know, but really the only EA handheld game I've ever really that I can think of getting into playing was the Vita version of Need for Speed Most Wanted.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, tell you the truth, I don't play a lot of EA games, especially after they got out of the Rock Band business.
I mean, was EA one of the last third-party companies to make games for these handheld consoles?
Oh no, there's still few third parties out there. Atlas, Square Enix, Sega. But yeah, EA. I'm not losing sleep over EA not being on 3DS and Vita.
I'm sure most 3DS and Vita users aren't either.
Yeah. And last show we talked about Atari making a comeback, and apparently they are partnering with Denny's. They've remixed 3 of their classic games for Denny's mobile app. Asteroids has become Hashtroids, Centipede has become Centipup, and Breakout has become Takeout.
Do you think these games belong in the landfill site where they found all the games? Denny's of things?
Yeah, I haven't been to a Denny's in years.
I haven't been to a Denny's in probably, you know what? The last time I went to a Denny's was 1997.
I think last time I was at a Denny's, it a little bit more recent, but yeah, my dad and I were in Tampa for a football game, and there was one near where we were staying.
I think that's the only reason most people will go to a Denny's, is just that's the place that's close by.
Yeah, whereas between the nearest Denny's, we've got a Perkins, a Bob Evans, and a Cracker Barrel.
Here we have tons of just mom and pop shops you can go to
Yeah.
that are probably cheaper and better than Denny's.
Yeah. And finally, Stephen Steptoe Toulouse, former Xbox Live Director of Enforcement, now back at Microsoft as the Director of Community Engagement for Gears of War.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I always liked Steptoe, and I thought his whole transparency was refreshing. But apparently, he later revealed after he departed Microsoft that his position opened the way for a lot of abuse directed at him. Yeah, that's a double-edged sword, but he was at Games for a while, the folks who do those mobile gaming units. He was briefly at HBO for something, but now he's back at Microsoft. And he tweeted, "This role will be key in coordinating gamer feedback into future titles as well as keeping things fun and exciting with existing ones." And I mean, I've always liked Steptoe when he was on the Major Nelson podcast. Good luck to him.
Yes, good luck, Steve.
Okay, random words of randomness.
You got none for me.
Okay, well, I just wanted to make a note that today is July 3rd, and 1 year ago, we lost Ryan Davis. Giant Bomb just hasn't been the same without him. I mean, yeah, they try, and they've got a good group around them, but, I meing, something's just been missing. I've actually been watching various Ryan Davis stuff all day, including last year's 404ing It panel from PAX East, as well as some various Giant Bomb videos. I mean, last year, when Harmonix did a tribute to him, John Drake said that Ryan, one of the things Ryan did was he brought people together. Brought people who he thought had something in common, and brought them together. And that's one of the things I have been aiming to do, not only with this podcast, but with H-Bomb and Friends. And I strive to be like Ryan Davis in that respect. I mean, that's some big shoes to fill. Still miss you, Ryan.
Alrighty, I guess that brings us to housekeeping.
Housekeeping. CrossborderGaming.com. Check us out at Stitcher. Review us on iTunes. Email HBomb, eMaster, feedback all at CrossborderGaming.com. Facebook.com/CBG Podcast. YouTube.com/CrossborderGaming. Voicemails. 747 CBG Pod 5. That is 747-224. 7635. Twitter's USFHButt, eButt 1980, CBG Butt, Audio Butt, HButt and eButt, Fred and Podbutt shoutouts, HBomb and Butts, RetroButt.com, PodButt64, Fantastic Butt, RetroButt Radio, Game and Butt, Irrational Butt, DMGButt.com, ReclamationButt.com. Somebody must have entered the butt code. The thing with this is Frank can see me, but I can't see him. He's probably double face palming right now.
I have my eye buried in my microphone.
Okay, anyway, we'll be back next Thursday. I hope.
Unless someone pulls a plug.
Yeah. I haven't driven you away, have you? Have I? You're not going to leave me.
Not yet.
No. I haven't crossed the line yet.
No, and I think that'd be difficult unless, of course, you took a half-hour segment to just talk about harmonics.
Yeah. So this has been Cross Butt Gaming. I'm Harold, aka H Butt. That is Frank, aka Buttmaster.
That's kind of true, actually, in real life. Anyways.
So thank you, Frank.
Thank you, Harold. And thank you for listening.
You may butt now.
Buddled!